So, coach, I'm having problems in my relationship. What do these men want?
Well, they want many things. But fortunate for you, I took the liberty to put it in a new video series. You can catch it on my YouTube channel every Tuesday and Thursdays. And don't forget to comment, like, or subscribe.
All right, coach, let me do that now.
Love, you move too fast for me.
Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Koron Pierre, and if you don't know me, I'm a life coach and your relationship guy. Hopefully we can work together in the future. Now let's talk about it. So today's topic, right, is episode 4 of the 100 video series titled What a Man Wants. So today we'll be talking about a good girl that can do bad. Yes, ladies, a good girl with quote unquote bad tendencies. Now, before you go off the deep end and say, Koron, what are you talking about? Don't worry, I got you. Because this is what males claim they want. But I feel oftentimes is based on misconceptions and gender bias. But I am going to break it down and provide much needed clarity. Now, in every single one of my videos, I typically give a disclaimer about the right guy versus the wrong guy, right? I'm talking about the right guy. The wrong guy typically is the guy who fuels these misconceptions and biases. So we're going to throw that in the trash can right away. And don't worry, at the end, I will break down what I mean by the right guy. Now, this is what a man wants. And if you're a good woman, do not worry, right? The bad part is not going to compromise the woman who you are. And I will explain exactly what I mean, right? So what do I mean by a good girl? I am not talking about a good girl in the sense of a condescending term to belittle woman. I'm not talking about that. Also, I am also not talking about a little girl, right? Like, you're my little girl. That's crazy. We're talking about a woman of age and as an adult. And typically, it's to describe a woman's positive characteristics. You know, she's compassionate, enthusiastic, energetic, and organized, right? Typically, those characteristics are the positive traits that are applied and given to women. That's all I'm trying to say when I say that men want a good girl, which is really a good woman. Now, the truth is, a good girl is an affable woman that has integrity and is serious about her business. And if you didn't see my video on the affable woman, that's what a man wants, go check that out. That's the second video. It's a great look. I'll put a link in the description, right? So a good woman who's a good girl, right, is an affable woman. Now, what do I mean by bad girl? Right? Because we're saying that men want a good girl with bad tendencies. So the same concept as good girl. It's not to belittle or reduce woman as if she's a little child. It's not. That's not the goal. We also don't mean a malevolent woman, right? Or a bad girl, like a bad spirit. What we're talking about is a girl that isn't concerned with stereotypes created by men. That's what we mean by a bad girl, okay? And typically, this bad girl has no issues or qualms with stepping outside of her comfort zone, okay? So hopefully that eases your concerns a little bit about good girl, bad girl, right? And you have a great understanding of where I'm coming from when I use that terminology. So this bad girl has no problem with stepping outside of the box. She has no problem with doing typical men activities. I don't know, things like paying a bill or even paying for a date sometimes, right? those activities are typically associated with men, and a woman is just supposed to follow suit. Sometimes you want to break up the monotony and do things differently, right? That can also be a trait of a bad girl in this way I'm referencing it. Another thing that a bad girl reference can mean is it's usually linked to sexual flexibility or prowess in the bedroom. So a lot of times you hear, men say, oh yeah, she's a bad girl because of this, that, and the third. This is YouTube, so I'm not gonna go crazy. Use your imagination, right? And once again, that's not a negative or derogatory thing, so to speak. It's just a man's way of communicating how great a woman's love making is. Another thing too, like when men say they want a bad girl, good girl with bad tendencies, whatever, sexy looks, right? A woman that looks beautiful, right? So they'll say she's bad. That's a casual American slang term. So you might hear men say she's bad. Bad is good. A good woman is a characteristic you can't sort of create, right? Like I said, a good woman is an affable woman who has certain traits assigned to her, typical societal norms and customs and things of that nature. But bad tendencies meaning willing to step out of that, because if you stay in that box, sometimes life seems a little less interesting. We're essentially saying a man who is the right man wants a woman who isn't afraid to spice it up, who'll step outside of her comfort zone, willing to engage in fun, spontaneous activities, things that she may not usually do. And that could be whatever. But of course, you're an affable woman, so we're not here to compromise your standards. It's all in good-natured fun. If you're not having good-natured fun, then I would avoid engaging in that activity wherever it may be. But be fun, be spontaneous, be open, right? Another thing too, you can dress up differently, right? Now, dressing up differently can mean many different things. It could mean wearing the sexy dress that you would not normally wear, changing up your hairstyle, right? Just doing things outside of the norm when it comes to dress. And being that a bad girl is typically tied or associated with how a woman looks, dressing up differently can be a way to sort of activate that desire that a man has for a bad girl, right? That's all with this video. I don't want to make the videos too long. The last video was pretty long. If you have any thoughts, comments, or concerns, you feel free to put a comment in the comment section below and I'll respond to it. But I hope you have a clear understanding, ladies, on what a man wants in terms of a good girl with bad tendencies. It's not a bad woman, right? Oh, almost forgot. Let's get to the disclaimer, okay? My disclaimer, especially with this video in terms of a good girl with bad tendencies or a good girl that's bad, is that we're doing these things, ladies, for the right guy. The right guy for you, the one who's gonna love you, cherish you, right? Be there for you, the one you can grow old with, your husband, your man who's committed. This is not for the guy you like. This is not for the guy who's married and you have a crush on and you want to get him to notice you, right? That's a joke. This is for the right guy. And ladies, if you're not sure if the guy you're seeing is the right guy, or you want a little assistance and help in identifying who the right guy is, I have a free checklist on the KoronPierre.com website, and it will help provide some insight. It has a list of characteristics typical right guys, wrong guys have, and it'll give you clarity to identify whether or not the guy you're seeing fits either side, okay? You get that right on the website. Now, you're always looking to facilitate these 100 things for the right guy. And I have like 96 more things. Guarantee you they'll blow your mind. But just remember, you're doing it always for the right guy. So that's all for this video. And until next time, stay blessed.
Take me in your arms, do just what you want. You're the one I trust. I belong to you, and I'll always be around when I need some loving, baby. And I'll never let you down, let you down, let you down. I'm your song, and you're playing all my melodies. There's no one else, 'cause baby, we got chemistry. Me feelings that I never knew. This heart of mine will always and forever belong to you. You and me were meant to be as one. The universe has known it all along. Maybe this is where our story starts.